Hello friends, welcome to reading. Today we'll be reading Dario and the Whale. Today's message is, today we'll read about a boy who makes friends with a whale. So I can see that on the cover, there's a boy and I'm assuming his name is Dario, and here's the whale. So I guess today we'll be reading about their friendship. That's pretty cool. Cheryl Lawton Malone wrote the words, and Bistra Meseva drew the pictures. And so that means that Cheryl is the author and Bistra is the illustrator. Friends, let's begin reading to find out how Dario and the whale become friends. Every spring, when the sun wakes up the land, Dario and his mother move to the seashore. Friends, a seashore is land at the edge of the ocean. So here you can see the ocean, and so they're living on the land that surrounds it. In this picture, you can notice the land is covered in sand. However, not all seashores are covered in sand. Some are covered in rocks. Friends, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you've ever been to a sandy beach. Yeah, I have been to a sandy beach plenty of times. Every spring, when the sun warms up the sea, a whale and her calf swim north to a local bay. Friends, the whale has a calf, and this is a calf, and this is mama whale. And a calf is just the baby of a whale. And the whale and her calf go to the bay. And a bay is a part of an ocean that is surrounded by land. And so earlier we discussed a seashore, which is land right next to a body of water. So I wonder if that's where the whale and Dario meet. And here you can see there's also a seagull. And so I have a seagull and he's flying over. The ocean is just so big, that's all you can see. Dario's mother has to work this year. She's a cook at the Salty Cod. The whale is a right whale. She has to swim. She and her calf swim to a bay by the Salty Cod. Friends, notice the whale and her calf in the background. Friends, the whale is a right whale. Have any of you guys heard of a right whale? Right whales are the rarest kind of whales. Right whales are dark gray and black. Right whales' diets consist of plankton that they filter through their large baleen plates. And you'll learn more about that in a center. On his first day, Dario tried to make new friends. Oi, he calls out to the kids at the beach. He kicks a soccer ball, but the kids are playing baseball. Puff, the whale spouts. He chases a school of herring. The herring swim away. The whale wanted to play different games with the fish. So here I have the whale and the fish, and the whale tried to approach the fish and the fish swam away from him. I bet that made him pretty sad. Dario backs into a sandcastle, accidentally. Hey, says a girl. Disculpe, Dario says, turning pink. Sorry. The whale bumps a green turtle on purpose. The turtle swims away. Notice that Dario accidentally ran into a girl's sandcastle. Friends, do you remember in a previous book that we read in Matthew and Tilly? Tilly got mad at Matthew for breaking her crayon even though it was an accident. An accident is when you do something that you didn't mean to do. However, the whale purposely bumped into the turtle. So the whale was swimming along and just bumped into the turtle. And I bet that made the turtle pretty sad because it was on purpose. The whale meant to hurt the turtle. Dario ran into the sandcastle. He didn't mean to ruin the girl's sandcastle, but the girl still got mad at him because it's something she spent time on and something that meant a lot to her. Give me a thumbs up if you think it was nice of the whale to bump into the turtle. Right, friends, it's not very nice of the whale to bump into the turtle. The turtle probably doesn't want to be friends with the whale now. I wouldn't want to be friends with someone who bumped into me, would you? Later, Dario runs along the sand. He flies a kite by himself. The whale has a notched tail. He launches himself up. Friends, Dario is playing with a kite just as the boys in Gilberto and the wind did. Do you remember how Gilberto felt when the wind wouldn't fly his kite? Yeah, he was pretty frustrated that he didn't get to participate. But here you can see that the wind is able to fly the kite, so it must be a good weather day. And the whale launched himself out of water. Look how much he is out of the water. He did that himself. He launched himself up that high. Wow, that's pretty cool. Dario sees the whale and the whale sees Dario. Friends, notice how close Dario and the whale are. This is the first time they've ever met. Have any of you ever been that close to a wild animal? I actually have. I've actually been that close to a whale. They're one of my favorite animals. And so I've actually been able to go whale watching only a few feet away from a whale, which is pretty cool. Wow, Dario shouts. Me, ven a ver. Ma, come look. Splash. The whale slaps the water with his tail. His mother hurries over. Friends, Dario is so excited about the whale. The whale also seems very excited back. He was splashing water everywhere. I wonder if Dario and the whale will become friends because of this. Have you ever been so excited about seeing something cool? I would have run to my mom if I was communicating with a whale. I think that's pretty cool. And look, he's pointing and trying to show his mom. He just seems so eager to show her. Every day, Dario races to the beach. Every day, the whale is there. When Dario whistles, the whale spouts. Friends, it seems that the whale and Dario are copying each other. The whale spouts. Do any of you have a guess of what spouting could be? Spouting is to shoot water out of the blowhole. So here you can see it's coming from one place, and so he has a little hole on top of his head so he can breathe, and then he shoots water out of there. Dario waves, the whale breaches. Dario watches the whale for hours. The whale swims back and forth for hours. Now the whale is copying Dario when he waves. The whale breaches, it means he's jumping out of the water. So he's jumping fully out of the water, which is pretty cool since they're really large animals. The fact that they can make themselves fully out of water is so unique. This behavior that Dario and the whale are doing is how they communicate. And because the whale can't speak, they have to find different ways to communicate. Like maybe if you have a friend that speaks a different language than you, you have to find other ways to communicate with them. And so here, they're waving and breaching to show that they understand each other. Is he your friend? Asked the girl who made the sandcastle. Dario nods, yes, yes. One day, Dario does not go to the beach. He has a drippy nose. His mother puts him to bed. Moss, he says. But friends, the girl is from earlier when Dario accidentally ran into her sandcastle. Dario seems pretty sad that he can't hang out with his friend. He's looking out the window wondering if he can see him. Have you ever had to miss out on something because you didn't feel well? I bet you're pretty frustrated. I've had to miss out on something because I didn't feel well. Whale looks for Dario. He waits and waits. Friends, the whale is wondering where Dario is since they have been doing everything together. It's like in Matthew and Tilly when they would do lots of activities together, and then when they had their fight, they didn't see each other, and that was really weird. And so now Dario and the whale aren't seeing each other. They kind of do not know what to do without each other. How do you think the whale feels when Dario cannot come to the seashore? I bet he's pretty sad and disappointed because he was hopeful his friend was going to come. When Dario's nose is dry, he rushes to the shore. Looking and hoping. They migrate, says the girl. They leave at the end of May. Friends, Dario does not want the whale to leave. He is hopeful the whale will not leave. Hopeful meaning wanting something to happen. He's wanting the whale to come back. Dario's hoping the whale will return to him. Friends, do you know what migrating is? Migrating is a behavior animals do in order to find a better home for a different season. So during the summer and spring, the whales go further north, and in the winter and fall, the whales go further south. Now, says Dario, no, he is my friend. See, Dario whistles, the whale breaches. Splash! Friends, the whale is still in the bay. Notice how the whale still responds to Dario's whistle by breaching. I remember that when they breach and whistle, they're communicating to each other. The whale did not disappoint Dario. Dario runs into the water. The whale swims close to shore, closer than ever. Friends, it is so cool that Dario and the whale are so close together. However, Dario cannot go too close to the whale since the water is too deep for Dario to be in. How can Dario and the whale communicate that they missed each other? Well, normally you would wave or give a hug. However, Dario cannot give the whale a hug, but he can still wave to the whale. Just waves apart, the boy and the whale stay very still, listening and being. Do you have to go? Asked Dario. The whale blinks his large dark eye. But you'll come back, right? Dario holds his breath. He waits. He wishes. Friends, Dario is hoping that the whale will come back next summer and see him. Notice how the whale's communicating to Dario through winking. When Dario asked, do you have to go? The whale blinked yes. Dario seems very concerned that the whale has to go. Look, his cheeks are blushed and his eyes just seem sad. Will the whale come back next spring? At last, the whale raises his great notched tail and lets it fall. Whoosh! Okay then, Dario says, see you next year. Look how the tail is a V shape. That means that the tail is notched. Dario took the notched tail in the air as a sign of the whale saying she'll come back. Dario is reassured by the sign of the notched tail. Reassured meaning that he's less afraid. He knows that he'll be able to see his friend again. What will happen now to their friendship? Will they get to see each other next summer? Will Dario and the whale find different friends? I asked myself these questions once finishing the book. I hope you guys had fun reading with me today. And now you'll go to Miss Kelis for group meeting.